I've been interested a lot lately in some of the works of the great philosophers who helped to shape the way we think today. These philosophers who set the stage for what would lead people into questioning themselves, and not only as individuals, but questioning their systems and beliefs as a whole. These philosophers who set the tone for the Protestant Reformation, the Scientific Revolution, and the Renaissance era as a whole. Their ideas were looked upon with great fondness, and principles of their methods were translated into works which we today recognize as classics. Great writings such as The Prince, written by Niccolo Machiavelli, The Wealth of Nations, written by Adam Smith, and even works from within the last century, such as 1984 by George Orwell, wouldn't have been created without the existence of philosophy. The Oxford Dictionary states that philosophy is the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, especially when considered as an academic discipline. However, another way of defining philosophy is asking questions of the world around you in an attempt to gain enlightenment about how things work and find a better way of doing them. A philosopher, inherently, can then be defined as anyone who seeks wisdom or enlightenment by asking questions about the world around them. During the Renaissance era, philosophical beliefs were the spark that ignited the fire of changing the world. When Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses, a list of grievances he had with the practices of the Catholic Church at the time, he initiated the Protestant Reformation. Essentially what followed was a time in history where there was a drastic increase in the usage of philosophical ideals, even though at the time people may not have thought of it that way. After Martin Luther released his grievances, in droves, people began questioning the perceived normal way of doing things and began asking themselves, is there a better way? What would follow is several religious denominations branching off from Catholicism and beginning to start their own ways of practicing Christianity. Many of these religions still exist, and ideals of these religions are the backbone of how society is structured today. Yet none of this would have come into being without the application of philosophical principles in an attempt to change the way of life. Another great example of philosophy igniting a spark that would change the world is during the mid-1700s at the time of the French Revolution. Absolute monarchs were decreasing in popularity at this time, as while they themselves had many riches, the common people of their countries suffered under harsh rule and impoverished conditions. Eventually, the people got tired of this way of life, and once again we saw in droves people questioning the perceived normal, and once again asking if there was a better way of doing things, a better life to live, and a better system than the one which already existed. In the years to come, the people of France would end up executing their king and establishing themselves as a democratic republic. All of these things justified with enlightened ideas formed with the utilization of philosophical principles. In the modern world, we see philosophy all the time, even if we do not recognize that it is what we are looking at. In modern media, it is more evident than ever. Oftentimes, in reference to politics, we see people questioning the way our world works, asking questions such as, should we have overturned Roe v. Wade? How far should freedom of speech go? And how do we handle the migrant problem at our border? In questioning how we do things, we are actively participating in philosophical ideals and practices. We are asking ourselves if the way we are currently doing things is the best way, or if there is rather another, more practical and functional way of doing things. Philosophical beliefs, one could say, are needed by humans. Without the existence of philosophical practices, the ability to advance society would be null. It would not exist at all. As the famous Greek philosopher Socrates boldly stated, to find yourself, think for yourself, meaning that if humans did not have the ability to question their lives as they were, they would never find a better way of living. I really hope you guys liked the video. It was extremely fun to make, and I enjoyed the topic a lot. Soon, I hope to go live on my Twitch, which I will be linking in the description, as well as all my other socials and all my other links. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.